Hey guys, red and black greetings. This is Flamengo. Welcome to the Paparazzo Rubro-Negro channel. If you're just arriving, I invite you to follow, like, and share on all platforms. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe, turn on notifications, and leave a like. We're here thanks to the support of the Geraldo Caravan, reminding you that you can secure your spot at Flamengo's main games at Maracanã. Man, with your ticket and top-notch service, that's Geraldo's Caravan. Check the description, pinned comment, and pinned chat for you. You can also contact them to secure your spot at the Recopa Sudamericana, Buenos Aires, and the Supercopa. Brasília, Flamengo matches in the Brasileirão, Flamengo matches in the Copa do Brasil, Flamengo matches in the Copa Libertadores. As soon as the draw happens, we'll already know our opponents too, right? It's almost time for us to find out who we're gonna face in the Copa Libertadores da America too. So there's a lot for you. You're joining Geraldo's Caravan, which is zero complaints, right? It's that company that doesn't leave you out, doesn't leave you outside. You're getting the message, right? Because that's the one that crushes a lot of people's dreams, but not here, not here. Description, pinned comment, pinned chat. Look, we're going to bring a lot of things here. Flamengo is close to announcing their second signing for 2026, and the deal is almost done. Alan is practically at São Paulo. And also to let you know, Marcos Antonio is also practically signed with Flamengo. I'm going to explain everything here for you, the profile of Flamengo's signings. A source close to the board is bringing us all the information. Regarding this situation, there's a lot of shady stuff going on, and we're going to explain everything to you. Be careful right here. Look at the speed, this curve. It feels like we're in Formula One here. And this is close to where my son was born. Otto, the hospital where Otto was born is right there. Little Otto was born at Advent Health. So guys, let's go. Look, just bringing you the information here. We're posting everything. A lot is happening. I'll start here. I'll go through Twitter because I posted so much on X. At Papa, the black guy. Everyone's there. Bruno Lemos posted about Marcos Antonio, who's also confirmed for our pages, right? I also want to thank Planeta Flamengo for always supporting us. But I'm going to talk about this issue here too. Look, 6 days ago, okay? 6 days. Gerson confirmed at Flamengo. I spoke to his father. Even though he's no longer with the club, I talked to everyone. They're sources, after all. And the player's father said that he had approached Flamengo first, didn't get a response, and that he was set with Cruzeiro. The father told me, we brought Gerson about 6 days ago, very close to Cruzeiro. People who work with the athlete already consider his move to the Minas Gerais club as certain. Okay, and just now ESPN is confirming Bruno Andrade and Gerson as Cruzeiro players. Write that down. Are you writing it down in your notebook? You already wrote it down. It's 1-0 here. Today it's 1-0 for Paraz. CRF beats everyone who's with me. 1-0 for our team. So if others want to ask for credit and all that, forget it, because there are a lot of people who aren't giving us credit either. So look, write it down, write it in your notebook. It's on paper. I've got Portuga here next to me, driving for me. That's my father-in-law. Portuguese. My father-in-law is Portuguese. You write it down on a piece of bread paper, right? Zay, isn't it on bread paper? Bread, you keep writing it down, right? Portuguese people like to use bread paper, don't they? Write it in the notebook, okay? Gerson's is there. The other one is here. Carlinhos, write down in rowing who first brought our team. Bread paper too? Where is it? Write it down. Is that it? Laugh. You can laugh. You wrote down another one on the bread paper. Okay, Carlinhos, that's all for today. Let's go, okay? About Marcos Antonio's issue, okay, we're going to bring the full information here and then write this one down for us today too. Marcos Antonio, bread paper, notebook. Only 3x0 today. You can request a song. You can ask for a song because on Fantastico, you can request a song there, right? When you score 3 goals, right? We'll also discuss Thiago Almada and everything else, right? The players should stay in Europe, talk about the forwards that Flamengo is trying to bring in, so we'll cover that situation here as well. Man, another one, huh? Write down the 4th one. That's Andrew's information. Because Raiza Queiroz isn't our partner over at Plaxa, so Raiza, that's another one she got right. Globo Esporte denied her, Globo denying the person, and the news was actually right. And now, is Globo going to apologize? Of course not, right? They're not going to apologize. They're not going to apologize to Raiza. So what about Raiza? She's on my team at Placker. It's written down. 444. Let's go. Flamengo has outlined a specific profile for new signings. The club is looking for players up to 26 years old, but who already have an experienced profile. The targets were defined based on this filter and in this specific transfer window. There should be no exceptions regarding age unless it's a player considered to be outstanding. And then, it could be someone like Danilo, Jorginho, or Saul, right? In this transfer window, John Arias was considered, but nothing progressed. The idea is to have players like Vital. Okay. Marcos Antônio from São Paulo is another top-rated player in the right age group. Should we talk about him since he's joining Flamengo? PAP had already stated this, and this stance should be reinforced by the club's board in the coming days. Some players above that age range are being offered to Flamengo, and the agents are intentionally leaking these names. See the trickery happening, right? A source close to the board said that the only current need is for a goalkeeper due to Matheus Cunha's departure. Yeah, and we're here bringing you this information. My wife has been calling me for 11 minutes now, wanting to know where we are because she's hungry. Yeah, she's waiting at the entrance so she won't miss us. No, if we're late, they'll go crazy, So is that it? A board source said they only need a goalkeeper after Matheus Cunha left and a defender who has already been signed. Vital and maybe a defensive midfielder because of Saul's surgery. And then there's Marcos Antônio, so he fits into that besides, of course, the priority position, which is forward. In this case, the club even plans to spend a little more and sign a more high-profile player who fits the profile that Filipe Luis is looking for. Write that down on a piece of paper too, okay? People are going to talk about that as well. Then it's going to be 5-1, 5-1, yeah, with fractures. The Portuguese guy likes it. If there are more signings, they will only happen to add quality, extra quality to the squad, respecting Filipe Luis's playing style and the financial responsibility imposed by BAP. And that's when I told you to write it down. I'm going to skip Marcos Antônio to bring Marcos Antônio here and Alan at the end. Okay, that's it. So, after meetings with Flamengo's board, the football department's plan must be followed strictly. Although there is a plan to sign a forward, it will only happen if the player has the characteristics defined together with the coaching staff. There is an understanding that names like Marcos Leonardo, who was considered as an option after Cruzeiro turned down Caio Jorge, will be avoided. Either they sign a player with the characteristics defined by Filipe Luis and company, or they won't bring anyone in at this time. A source close to the Rubro-Negro board commented, "We want wine, and we're not going to drink milk just because we can't find wine." That's right, isn't it? It's a Portuguese saying, isn't it? But the person who said this to me isn't Portuguese. No, they're not Portuguese. But come here, come enjoy before I bring the news about Marcos Antônio. Take advantage that Portuga, my father-in-law, is here by my side. I'm a good guy, don't you think so? Say it, I think so too. He's Brazilian, a good guy. I'm Portuguese, half Portuguese, second rate. Look at him, man, look at him. Saying I'm a second-rate Portuguese because I'm half Portuguese family. All right, but I have my red passport. So look, that's it, red passport. You have to respect it. There's no way. Look, he has fun with me. Listen, look, this is Marcos Antônio's agent. Okay, look, check out the photo there. Marcos Antônio's agent, Renato Martinez, was present this Wednesday at São Paulo's training center. The midfielder, Alan, is also close to joining São Paulo. And now the arrangements are being made for Marcos Antônio to transfer to Flamengo, as we've reported here. However, according to Paparazzo Rubro-Negro, the situation should be resolved after the 14th Raiza had mentioned this, as that's when the impeachment of Julio Casares, the current president of São Paulo, will be voted on. Okay, so this impeachment situation and all that is delaying things a bit. In an exclusive investigation, a source connected to the board confirms that Alan's deal was stalled. They're also working to send Marcos Antônio to Flamengo, so one deal stalled while resolving the other since they're connected as a joint operation. V and Casagrande confirmed our info on the Allen and Marcos Antonio swap, though others had also reported it. He shared this today. All right, so that's a lot. Look, see? It was about to get into the middle of... There. He has an alarm. Yeah, he has an alarm, but at the last minute, it gets complicated, right? So let's just wrap up Thiago Almada's situation here. He turned down Benfica for Atletico de Madrid, and now he's been put on the market, okay? The Argentine player is unhappy with his playing time at Los Colchoneros and asked to leave in January. It's CRF Matos brought some information here. Important here on Twitter about clubs interested in Almada. And Raiza, she had talked exactly about this issue of him not wanting to leave Europe, right? So, according to the main Portuguese newspapers, several Premier League clubs are keeping an eye on Thiago Almada's situation. And they emphasize that the athlete's main goal is to get back to playing consistently, to be included in Lionel Scaloni's choices for the 2026 World Cup. He shouldn't leave Europe. Even though many Flamengo fans want Botafogo, want this and that, ask Filipe Luis to call, ask to loan him, he should stay in Europe. Raiza even mentioned that when he came to Botafogo, he first wanted to close the deal, that he would stay at Botafogo for a while to be a bridge for him to go to Texter's team. In Europe, that's right. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and like the video. Greetings, Juan Bruno Negras. This is Flamengo, thanks. Straight from Portuga's car, thanks. Hey.